him anyway. Why take Gabriel? You think he was a better pick for them over Shedeur at that time?
Man, something happened with the Browns between day 2 and day 3. Okay, because with Shedeur available, and it's not like, okay, I'm prone to get a lefty, which Dylan is a lefty compared to Shedeur. The kid's got the most starts in the history of college football, Gabriel. And then Shedeur's still on the book that they can pick him up. But something had to change in their philosophy because they could have got Shedeur with the 3rd round pick. Something changed between ownership, management, the general manager. Something changed between day 2 and day 3.
And what bothers me the most about the measurables is this kid ain't been in no trouble. Has he? I mean, he ain't got no charge.
Shout out to Fully Loaded. Shout out to Fully Loaded. I'm not gonna play the whole video, but you guys can go and watch the full video of Chris Carter and Fully Loaded. So shout out to this channel. Like I said, I'm not gonna play the whole video.
Charges. He's not out. I mean, I don't know him, so I understand. I think the struggle for me is you don't guys when they walk in the NFL, don't guys just get humbled when they walk in the locker room? Even before you have to humble them, don't they walk in and look around and be like, man, he does. Don't we think Shedeur is smart enough to know he's not at Jackson State and he's not at Colorado?
No,
you don't think so?
I listened to too many of his answers. I saw too many of the outtakes. I saw too many times he was working out with other players, and he said things that I thought were highly questionable for my franchise quarterback.
So like what?
When he was working out with Cam Ward, him and Cam Ward, the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you want to cut a rap video together? No, I want to be known as a football player.
And he's like, what do you do for fun? He's like, I play football. But do you think somebody, I mean, you talk about some of the great coaches you had. Like let's use Tomlin. No, we can't use that. Let's use Tomlin. He walks into Pittsburgh, which obviously is in Cleveland now. Tomlin can't control that? Or he chooses not to?
You can only control so much. If you draft a guy in the 1st round, you're also empowering whatever that is. So if he comes in, he's got a media crew, you draft him in the 1st round, you're our quarterback, you're accepting that. So you're either teaching it or you're tolerating it.
So if he had went to the combine, if he had good interviews, he'd have been a top. He might have gotten picked by the Giants early.
Top 10. He's not going to get by the Raiders, and he's not going to get by New Orleans.
If those things were better.
Why wouldn't you sit down with people? And something these kids never understand. Even if you're a top 10 pick, you're in the NFL for a long time. Yeah. So your interview, your tape, people in the room that see you, someone can like you in the room. They might not draft you. 5-10 years later, man.
You're looking for a guy, you're looking to trade, and they remember your interview.
Yes.
The interview you had.
It's a small world.
Did you know that when you were his age?
Yes, I knew that.
How did you learn it?
Well, I was at Ohio State, and we had extensive media training, but this whole thing with Dion and the media and everything, it's out of control. It did not help him. It helped him make money in college because he got followers, but it actually hurt him as far as him getting a job as an NFL quarterback.
You mean as Shedeur, his social media stuff with Shedeur?
Yes.
It hurt him.
Yeah. What else hurt him? What else?
Lack of ability, lack of leadership. I hear you on everything you're saying. I'm not disputing any of that as far as what you're saying and what people thought. But I'm like, I can't imagine being an NFL head coach. And this is my deal. I agree if you're a 1st round pick compared to your 6th round pick, I get.
But if you don't have to deal with it, when 99% of all your players understand that, but you got one person that you have to.
Think they could get him to understand that real fast? I know you've heard his interviews.
Let me tell you what he understands today.
Okay.
He ain't running shit.
Whoa.
Okay? Yeah. Let me tell you what. They taught him a great lesson.
Whoa.
You don't have this figured out. Your dad don't have this figured out.
Who's that?
All right, guys, let me pause that. And then let's see what Cam Newton has to say, because Cam Newton was critical. Cam Newton was really critical towards
Here's how I accessed $30,000 from my home to pay off debt without refinancing.
He was critical towards Shedeur Shedeur Sanders. My fault, guys. Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Stevenson. All right, man. It's been a long day. Let's see what Cam Newton has to say. I might skip
A
some of
new
this. Shout out
change
to
in this
Cam.
aura, this persona of
He was
Shedeur
a great
Sanders.
quarterback
Shedeur
also.
Sanders, this message is directed to you. Lead with work, not clout. I'll say it again. Lead with work, not clout. Lead with you're working to be the starting quarterback to a unproven quarterback room. This is a great situation for Shedeur.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying?
It was looking like a question mark to me, but I want to hear your
Wow.
take on it after you
This is a
finish up.
great situation here because it's not like he's going into a quarterback room, no matter whoever was drafted.
Yeah.
I look at a quarterback room that everybody's even and everybody's equal. So if you legendary, like you say you are, this is how you prove it. Don't lead with the chains. Don't lead with the cars. Don't lead with the aura of content and this, that. Man, if you want to win people over, you winning over by working.
I said that
them
in my
over
last
by
video.
knowing what you supposed to do and what
I
others
said
are
the same
supposed
thing
to
in
do.
my last
As
video. I said the same exact thing in my last video about Shedeur Sanders. But I think he's getting a bad rap. I do think he is I don't know much about college football, but he got me into college football. Hold on, my dog, you have to go outside. Go ahead, big girl. Wait, no. Go. No, go outside. Go. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. well, baby girl had to go outside. But yeah, I thought he was really, really good at Jackson State and Colorado State, but apparently, and this a lot of the insiders are saying, yeah, his attitude and his father, and I think he's cocky and full of himself. I think he has some merchandise, that he had made legendary, which is nothing wrong with being confident. However, as my dad would say, however, yeah, I think they kind of been a little too hard on him. But hey, you guys, get in my comment section. You guys let me know what you think. All right, you guys let me know what you think. Let me play a little bit more of what Cam has to say, and I'm gonna close it out.
as a quarterback, not this, not the cameras, not it's man. We working. What we working at today? Hey, coach. Hey, man. I need to get in this book, man. Hey, dog. I need to understand what's my sight adjust. I need to understand all my formations. I need to understand my protections. I need to understand what my slot receiver is supposed to do if we're hot off these two individual defenders. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lead with work, not clout. Do not, and I'll say this again to add to the third one. Do not play the victim. Because if you would take your situation and you would ask somebody else who would have wanted to be drafted the 144th pick, you got thousands of players that would have said, man, draft me, Cleveland.
Just give me a shot.
Just give me an opportunity. There's so many players that's still out there.
That's a good point. I'm gonna you guys want to go watch the whole video. You guys can go check that video out yourself. I definitely agree with that. A lot of the pro black blogs are trying to make it a racial thing. I don't really think it's a racial thing because his own peers and his own people, Cam Newton, Saville, Chris Carter, pretty much saying the same thing. And the number one draft pick in the NFL, it was a brother. I believe he was a quarterback. If I'm wrong, get in my comment section and let me know. So everything is not a racial issue. So I think it's still a golden opportunity for Shedeur Sanders to go out there and prove himself, work hard, prove the haters and prove people wrong. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Nate. Go out and be a blessing and be blessed. I'm out.